He's 47, an accountant. The kind of man people describe as steady, reliable. The one who keeps his head when everyone else loses theirs. He hasn't cried at a funeral in 12 years, not his father's, not his best friend's. And right now, at 3 on a Tuesday afternoon, he is sobbing into his hands, shoulders shaking, completely gone, because 11 strangers in his country's jersey just lost a soccer match on penalties. His wife is frozen in the doorway. In 19 years, she has never seen this. He won't even look at her. He just keeps whispering one word. Sorry, sorry, sorry. And if you're thinking he's overreacting, here's the uncomfortable part. In moments exactly like this, some men don't just cry. Their hearts give out. And we have the hospital data to prove it. This was never about soccer. And by the end, you'll understand the two forces breaking him open. And the third one, almost no one ever names, that hits the hardest. Start with that hospital data. During the 2006 World Cup in Germany, researchers tracked every cardiac emergency in Munich and published it in the New England Journal of Medicine. On the days the German team played, cardiac events more than doubled. For men, they more than tripled and peaked in the first 2 hours of the match. Sit with that. Grown men having heart attacks at 3 times the normal rate, not from running, not from lifting, from watching. Their hearts reacted like the threat was real. Why would a body do that? Part of the answer is that sports can make a man feel like he's on the field himself. But there's another part that's stranger. For a few hours, sports also becomes one of the only places a man can feel something enormous in public and not have to apologize for it. We'll come back to that. A psychologist at the University of Texas, William Swan, studies what he calls identity fusion. Normally you're a fan, but you're still you. In some people, that line doesn't blur, it dissolves. The team stops being something you support and becomes something you are. Swan found it in soldiers, and over in die-hard fans. And here's the proof it's physical, not poetic. At the 1994 World Cup final, researchers took spit samples from male fans before and after. The winning fans' testosterone shot up, the exact surge the players get. The losing fans dropped. These men were on a couch. They didn't run a single yard. And their bodies produced the precise hormonal signature of a man who just personally won or lost a fight. So when his country goes out on penalties, his brain doesn't file it as they lost. It files it as I lost. His body was on that field the whole time. It just got the result a half second late. That's reason one, the body. The biology of a man whose nervous system never got the memo that he wasn't actually playing. But notice what biology doesn't explain. He wasn't just devastated, he was apologizing to his wife, to no one, to everyone. And that word, sorry, is the thread that pulls us into something deeper. Here's reason two. Until about age 12, boys and girls cry at almost exactly the same rate. Then a gap opens that never closes. Men end up crying a fraction as often as women. And it's not because something in them is broken. It's because somewhere around then, most boys learn to hold it together. Life starts asking them to. Somebody has to stay calm. Somebody has to hold everyone else up. Men get very good at carrying things quietly. The problem is that carrying isn't the same thing as letting go. And the world gives men very few places to cry without having to explain themselves. Funerals, the birth of a child, sports, that's basically the list. So when the whistle blows, it isn't only the game coming out, it's years of everything else finally finding a door. And for a lot of men, the deepest part isn't even about their own country. It isn't even about themselves. It's about watching another man. Psychologists call this modeling permission. The moment your brain registers that an emotion you've suppressed your whole life is safe to feel because someone like you just felt it publicly and survived. Albert Bandura's research on social learning showed that watching someone like us behave a certain way doesn't just teach us to copy it, it teaches us we're allowed to. Watch the players when a team goes out, the captain on his knees in the grass, the striker who missed pulling his shirt over his face so 100 million people can't watch him break, grown men in front of the largest audience on earth, coming undone and nobody mocking them. And a guy on his couch sees that, and something in him he can't name goes off. Because for a lot of men, that may be the first time they've ever seen male grief treated as something honorable instead of embarrassing. For some men, the most emotional part of sports isn't victory. It's watching another man fall apart and discovering nobody hates him for it. He's not just watching a man cry, he's watching a man cry and not get punished for it. And some quiet, much younger part of him has been waiting his whole life to find out that was even possible. So if a game has ever taken you somewhere you didn't expect to go, you're one of two types. Be honest about which. Type 1, the fusion crier. For you, it's personal. You are the team. They didn't lose. You did. Type 2, the permission crier. The game was never the point. It's the one door you're allowed to open, and the loss let a lifetime of held back, everything finally come out where no one would shame you for it. Most men are both. The fusion cracks you open, the permission lets the rest pour through. But before you go, two things for two people. If you're a man who does this and has always been a little ashamed of it, you spent your life being the steady one, and a game gave you 90 minutes where falling apart got you hugged instead of judged. That's not weakness. It might be the one place the world ever let you put it all down. You didn't cry because you're soft. You cried because you finally found somewhere safe to. And if you love a man who does this and never understood it, now you do. He found the one room in his life where the door opens. Don't make him feel small for it. Just sit down next to him. That's the whole job. The tears were never about the game. They were just finally allowed. So, type 1 or type 2? Drop it below. And if there's a man in your life who does this, send him this. He might not be able to say what it does to him. Maybe this can. I'll see you in the next one.